number 3 of the Rich Eisen Show. Up and running here in the AT&T studios. The Rock, the island of Staten Island, is in the house right now. Fellow Staten Islander from the Wu-Tang Clan back in the day, now also of Drop the Mic that premieres tonight on TBS, hosted by Method Man here in the Rich Eisen Show. What a pleasure.
That's what's up. That is amazing. I bet y'all Staten Islanders didn't know that Rich is from Staten Island.
I am.
So next time you post famous Staten Islanders in the Advance, which he worked for, you have to put his name in there now. We didn't know this.
You did not know
that?
We
did not know. It's a fun fact.
I gotta get that. I gotta get that out there. I thought I had. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, bro.
Let me start off by telling you Michael Irvin sends his best to you.
That's my man right there.
He does.
The playmaker.
I mentioned the other day that you were coming on. He goes, tell him I said hello.
I love that dude right there.
So, I mean, you have a certain awareness in the NFL community of you and Wu-Tang Clan and your work.
I think we've inspired a lot of guys to go out there and give 110% on that.
You certainly have.
Yeah.
Are you fine with a cowboy doing that? I mean, being from Staten Island, are you fine with that?
I don't know. Everyone loathes the Cowboys, so I'm just going to fall in line with everybody else and loathe the Cowboys also.
Are you a Giant or a Jet fan? Which one?
I'm more Jets than Giants. Long Island kid also, you know.
Okay, so you're Long Island to Staten Island. So you were the Jet.
And Mets. Yeah.
So you never see. I was a Jet. My brother grew up a Jet fan, so I stayed with them.
Okay, nice.
But I realized at a very early age in my life that I needed my championships from somewhere.
I went right to the Giants,
and that's when no. I didn't jump that ship. Reggie Jackson started hitting home runs.
Okay, nice.
Catfish Hunter started winning games, and Ron Guidry was striking people out, and I'm like, that's my team. So I'm the Jet Yankee. /
Nice.
That's not very.
Even though it doesn't go together. You're right. It doesn't go together. It's usually Giants, Yankees. I get it. Though.
Usually is.
Yeah. You're mixed up right there, Rich. Come on.
Well, maybe you could straighten me out. No one's getting me off those Yanks.
I mean, the majority of the people in New York, even myself, we all bleed Yankee blue. We don't have to necessarily be fans of the Yankees, but when you think of that NY, it's synonymous with that blue cap. Right. Absolutely.
Okay. And so you've been that way your whole life? You're, okay.
Yeah, but, I have family in the Bronx, and, the Thurman Munson bat was really big when I was little.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted a Thurman Munson bat because I believe that tragedy had happened in
1979.
Yep. And I remember going to a Yankee game one time with the outreach that they used to come and get the youth and take them to games, and we were in the bleacher seats. Those seats were about a quarter or 50 cents a piece, something like that. And Dave Winfield was out there. He was a very nice guy. He waved to us and all that. He was a pretty good guy.
Yeah, my seats, either the bleachers or there was in the old Yankee Stadium, there were general admission where you could sit in the last 6 rows of the upper deck for like $10.
$10.
So I went up there, and we always go right behind home plate so you could see the entire stadium and the Bronx right there over the back.
That had to be amazing, man.
It was great, and so to this day, I'm still kind of hooked on all of that. So you follow the Jets currently right now, or
you know what? No. I've always been a Cincinnati Bengals fan, but as far as home teams go, Jets. It's weird.
What?
It's weird because when I started playing football at like 8 years old, I remember the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a few years later. They had a Cinderella season. Kenny Anderson was their quarterback. Chris Collinsworth was there. I forgot who their running back was, and
it's like James Wilder or something like that. I'm trying to. Was it Icky Woods?
No, it wasn't Icky. No, not with Kenny Anderson. No. Kenny Anderson was a gunslinger.
Right.
And they played the 49ers, and I believe it was the 49ers
first. In the Silver Dome.
Yes.
They played that Super Bowl in the Silver Dome.
Yes, and Montana torched us. Anderson did his numbers, but I remember Montana torched us. And first I loved the uniforms, but then I just loved their style of play, When I first started watching football, Cowboys were the bottom line because I liked their white cleats, Billy White Shoes Johnson. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just pulled one out the hand.
Yeah, Billy White Shoes Johnson. Yeah, he started doing the celebrating before anybody else did. So then I would never have guessed Method Man would have fallen in love with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, the 2 times that you went, it was Montana standing in the way each time.
Yeah, killed us.
Each time.
Mm-hmm.
So who's the player that you've met in the NFL that you've just gotten the biggest kick out of because they liked you and your music, and suddenly you're like, boy, that's pretty cool for kid from
Recently,
Long Island moved to
or
Staten
a recent
Island.
player,
Sure.
or
Okay, give me one of each if you want. Whoever
well,
just leaps to mind.
well, back in the day it was a few guys, but Andre Rison always stuck out because we were there pre-Super Bowl at a pre-Super Bowl party, and he was there, and he told us out of his own mouth, first play of the game, I'm going to burn this kid for a touchdown. And sure enough, when they played the New England Patriots, in the Superdome, I got to go to the Superdome when it was still like gritty and it was the Super.
Was that your first Super Bowl you ever went to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely was. And sure enough, he caught that pass and burnt that kid for a touchdown.
He did. That's one of those plays I think I've seen on NFL films that they would say that if there's a certain defense, we run that play, I know that's going to be a touchdown. That's what they went in.
Yep.
And I know that Super Bowl very well. Chris Brockman over there is a Patriot fan. Plus, you could see right here. I know I've got the Michigan helmet right here. Desmond Howard was the MVP of that Super Bowl.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Defensive man.
Yep, that's right.
Well, I mean, when you think about Michigan, and I'm not too much of a college football guy, but they turned out some pretty decent defensive players. I mean, Charles Woodson, absolutely. First guy name comes to mind.
Look, to me, Woodson's a GOAT, and he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And then I've got my boys. We were watching some Sunday Night Football. They're big Patriots fans because my wife is from the Boston area. Okay. So I'm the black sheep. I'm the black sheep of their family, being a Yankee in New York, right?
Yeah, you know what it is, man. And with the Mets, it's the Phillies. Ooh.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Exactly. Yeah. It is. That's an old school one right there. But the reason why I bring it up is when Brady, I'm like, wait for it, kids. Wait till you hear him say what school he's from as they go through the offensive roster. Tom Brady, Michigan. I'm like, that's right.
The helmet.
That's right. That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT right there. All right, so Andre Rison. So Dion might have a problem with that. Prime would.
I love Prime, and you know what? I met him at a Mike Tyson fight. Yeah, we were sitting in expensive seats. I knew that because Dion was in those seats too. That's how I knew they were expensive. Yeah. Very cool guy. I follow him on Twitter too.
Yeah, at Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about Drop the Mic premiering tonight.
Yes.
I see you're wearing a Late Show with James Corden T-shirt.
Yeah, I was just on there. That's my guy right there. It's my boss.
Well, this is essentially based off of, in a way, I guess, the carpool karaoke concept in a way.
Absolutely. But, we're not reinventing the wheel here. I mean, battle rap has been around since hip-hop has been around. And I see it as a vehicle for those battle rappers who brought it so much to the forefront for it to just progress, move even more forward, give them another outlet or a platform to be heard. And, I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, not to be taken too seriously. It's a parody, basically. And we have celebrities come on there who don't rhyme. See, that's the kick of the show. They don't rhyme, but they're probably aspiring MCs or have done how people sing in the shower. You got people who rap in the shower. Now they get their chance to do that.
Well, I mean, Usher versus Anthony Anderson. How is that even a fight, though? That's just as a firstie, for instance. I believe that's on tonight, on the premiere tonight. How is that even a contest? One would think, right?
Well, you know what? Usher has a lot of rhythm and soul. Anthony is very quick-witted, and he has some rapping chops. Don't sleep on him. Do not sleep on him. And we had Halle Berry. She's going to be on there tonight. Yeah.
Halle Berry, who does she take on? She takes on Corden? Is that who she takes on?
Yeah, she takes on James. Mm-hmm. And James he's pretty much in the pocket with his raps. You know what I mean? I'm basically a host/judge because I make the final decision.
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie to the contestants. I mean, I know that they're not MCs, so I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. But if you come up there and you stink up the joint, you're not going to win.
All I know is that if I was a judge in anything, because you referred to James Corden as your boss, technically, for the show. Okay, if I was ever a judge and I had to choose between my boss and Halle Berry, that would be a very difficult decision for me to make.
Not for me.
Business or, I mean, actual human blood coursing through my veins.
See, because you have this moral compass that holds you to a higher standard. Whereas me, I'm gonna stay down here in the gutter and be like, Halle won. She ain't gotta say a word. She won. Period. My stuff will be packed in the morning, boss.
She wouldn't have to say a word.
Not a word. Not a word.
Just stroll out.
She has this, I don't know. I don't even think there's a word for it. The walk, the talk, she just exudes elegance, man. She's our generation's Diane Carroll. Yeah.
That's a great pull, Method Man. That's a great pull. And I will be very honest, okay? So, because you live in Los Angeles, you never know who you might run into, correct? Okay. So I was running, jogging, trying to stay in shape. Okay, all right. I'm jogging, and then all of a sudden, have I told this story on the air yet? Have I told this?
I didn't know you ran.
Okay,
so no, that's a no.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Not everyone's a jogger. Okay. I'm not a jogger.
No, I'm doing cardio.
Okay. All right.
So I'm running around, and then all of a and just not. All I'm honestly thinking is how I'm not going to have a heart attack. Right. Because I'm running around.
Okay.
So I'm running around, and who is picking up? I believe her kid from a bus stop right nearby, but Halle Berry. And I'm running, and I honestly sucked in my gut.
I would have did the same thing. That's what's up. That's real.
That's what I did. And
that's real.
I'm a happily married man.
Absolutely.
I also know that even if I did suck in my gut, Hallie's not stopping with her kid going, check that guy out. Okay. There's no end game. You know what I mean? There's zero end game. But it was my natural reaction.
I see your point. How many guys would have did the same thing? Let's be honest, man. We all would have did it, married or not. Come on, man.
I raised my hand. Okay, so this seems like a lot of fun, and it's Haley Baldwin is also with you.
Yeah, Haley Baldwin is my co-host. Let's say co-host.
Okay.
Because we're equal, no matter what people say, like, oh, it's Meth's show. No, it's our show, myself and Haley. And she's sort of like the anchor that keeps everybody calm and cool, especially with my rough around the edges kind of demeanor. She kind of smooths things out, makes the guest a little bit more comfortable to look at a pretty face.
Does that mean that Alec is going to be dropping the mic at some point?
Alec? No. I wish he would, though. As Trump. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. I actually met a pop, though. Steven, very cool dude.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this question before I let you go here. You were on two of my favorite shows, Oz and The Wire.
Thanks.
I mean, that is, in terms of if you had to name all-time great shows, those would be on my top 5,
right? For
sure. What was that experience like for you, Method Man, being on those shows?
Well, it was like my first times ever auditioning, so that was a little stressful. Being on those sets, we shot Oz actually in New York, Chelsea, where Chelsea meat packing district. Yep. And every day was an adventure. I remember showing up late one time. They called me and was like, you show up to work now or don't show up at all? And I went in, and I remember going back next week, and I had been murdered in the script. Oh. Yes, sir. He did not play. Tom Fontaine, shout out to you, brother. He taught me a valuable lesson. Time is everything.
That sounds like Belichick right there.
Yeah, time is everything. You cannot play around. This ain't hip-hop. It's acting. And you have to be on time. Not only show up, but show up. And The Wire, what can I say? David Simon has his finger on the pulse of character. He personifies what the urban lifestyle is, man. He just eats, breathes, and poops it, for lack of a better word. And anytime I can get a chance to work with him, I'm jumping at it.
Well, The Deuce, right?
Deuce, yep.
On HBO.
Yeah. And James Franco, Maggie Gyllenhaal, David, Nina K. Simone, and George Pelicanos. I take my hat off to you guys, hoodie off to you guys. Yes, and you put together a piece of art that they can't take it away now because it's been seen. So now it's just there. It's in history now. It's in the universe, and I applaud your efforts for everything you guys have done with this show, man. It's a great freaking show.
Well, you're great in them, and I'm sorry that you were late to work on Oz. You couldn't have been any longer on that. But hey, but at least it got you ready for everything else that you're doing.
Yes, it did.
And for you to be you were being cheese in The Wire.
Cheese on The Wire.
Yeah, I know. And Idris Elba in that as well. I don't want to give anything away, obviously.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go check out The Wire.
By the way, I've got my wife and I have Omar Common T-shirts. We frequently wear. Oh yes. That's just, so you didn't know that about me.
It's a lot of stuff that people don't know about Rich, and I'm learning this stuff as we go along. I'm impressed, brother. I am impressed.
Method Man,
Yes,
I
sir.
will take that and eat that up and run with it. Real quick, do you want to ask Method Man before he goes your question that you ask everybody about my hometown?
No.
our hometown?
I give you grief. Okay, look, now when people say, hey, I'm going to visit New York City,
Right.
they don't mean visit Staten Island. So do you think Staten Island is really part of New York City?
You know what? I just went through this with somebody. I definitely went through this with somebody on
Please.
Twitter, and they were like, that's not even really New York. We're one of the 5 boroughs, okay? See,
But it's not a vacation destination of New York City. No one's
Okay.
going to Staten Island.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
But if you check, for one, Staten Island is the highest point on the Eastern Seaboard, first of all.
Okay.
And second, we have the most, well, let's put it this way. Date night, Staten Island is tops to go for date night because we have the most restaurants in New York City.
That's right.
Holler at your boy. Yeah.
Yes, it's about food and love.
Food
Staten
love.
Island.
Oh, and football, because Curtis Warriors won the whole thing last year. Okay, 12-0. Went to the big one.
That's right.
Won that game at Yankee Stadium.
Brought the title home to New York City.
Yes.
I stand corrected.
And I won my fantasy football yesterday.
Oh, really?
A lot.
Congratulations. What's the
lot.
name of your fantasy football team?
Supreme Clientele.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Supreme Clientele took it down. By the way, that whole Staten Island chat could not have gone any better than the way I hoped. Method Man, check out Drop the Mic tonight on TBS at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 Central. When we come back, the television audience will take a look at a clip with Method Man. And then your phone calls at 844-204-RICH, number to dial, and the Chris Command Center news update. We'll get some injury updates. And what else do you have over there for what we're going to be talking about on the news?
Oh, man, controversy in the Iditarod, Rich.
Iditarod controversy, 2 words that I've never put together in a microphone, let alone on this show. Method Man here on The Rich Eisen Show. Back with more in a moment.
I'm keeping the cup.
For more Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Rich Eisen Show app.